Recording started.
Hi everybody, good day. How are you doing? So today we are going to be building this dashboard. We're going to be analyzing data sets together. And yes, we started yesterday. So hopefully today we should be able to wrap this up. And you're going to be learning how to analyze, how to use filters to analyze your data sets, how to use slicers to analyze your data sets, how to build the wireframe, and how to impute all of this that you're seeing. So with that being said, let's dive right in. Okay, so this was what we were working on yesterday. Sorry, I think I should have my camera now. Okay, so this was what we were working on yesterday. And I want to take this off, okay. So now we're going to be going back to Power Query. Remember yesterday we were working on Power Query. We are not done with cleaning this data set. So now to go back to your Power Query, what you have to do is you come to this place, Queries and Connection, you right click, and then you click on Edit. And it brings us back to our Power Query. So now we're going to continue with our cleaning. An unexpected error. Okay, hold on, let's do that again. What's the error? Refresh, review. Okay, because I know this would take time. So I think we should start with getting another edit. Hold on, please. I'm trying to see what the error is about. Go to error. Change the type. So let's take it out then. Delete. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. Because of this error, instead of us wasting time, we're going to import this again and try cleaning. We did just a little cleaning yesterday. So we'll come to File, come to New and Blank Workbook. Then we'll come to Data, Get Data. Then from Excel Workbook, we'll click. Then we'll look for the name of the data set, Titanic, yes. And we import. Let's hold on, it's loading. Then I think this is it. Let's do a preview. No. Okay, let's use this. Sheet 1, other sheet 1. This is empty. Okay, then let's transform data. Okay, so now we're going to be cleaning this data set. We already did our P class yesterday, which is the class levels. We have 1, 2, 3. For everyone is first class, 2 is middle class, and 3 is the low class. Now let's filter and see if what we did yesterday actually did work. Let's just click on 3 and okay. 3 is showing low class for everything. Remember we did conditional column yesterday. So now we are going to be removing this P class because we really do not need it. We already have the column for it, which is the class type. So you right click and you remove. Now for survived, 1 means the person survived, 0 means the person didn't survive. So we're going to be creating a conditional column, a conditional column for this. How do we do that? We click on the column first and then add column. Then you see conditional column. Now remember I said 1 is the person survived and 0 means the person didn't survive. So now what will be the column name for this? Let's call it survival. Survival. And it's saying which column are you working with? Are working with column survived. So we're saying whenever you see equals means like exact match. Whenever you see 1, you should name it survive. Survive. Else, whenever you see 0, whenever you see any other thing that is not 1, name it didn't survive. Didn't survive. And okay. So now we have survived and didn't survive. Let's drag this closer to this place. So now let's check what we just did. Let's select just 1. More. Oh, there's a null here. Okay, let's select just 1. Select all 1. And we click on OK. And you see that everything that has to do with 1, this is the column we just created. Everything that has to do with 1, what is written in the survival column is survived. And when we filter by 0, everything that is written that has 0 in the survived column will be called didn't survive. So that is what we just did. So now we'll be taking out this column because we do not need it for the analysis. This column is enough for us to do the analysis. So take it out, remove. Now age. For the age, remember we did a calculation yesterday that had to do with median, and the median number was 28. So we'll be replacing all of the nulls here. Remember that, look at this place, you can see that there's actually an empty telling you 23%. And when we did the calculation yesterday for the median, it was 28 that we had. So now we have to replace all of the blanks, all of the nulls with 28. How do we do that? Click here. Click on replace values. And we're writing wherever you see null, replace it with 28. And we okay. Now you can't see any null here anymore. Remember there was a null here. Okay, let me take it back so that you can see what I just did. I just removed one of the steps. There is a null here, there's a null here, there's a null here. There are some nulls in this data set. So we are trying to replace this null with the median that we had yesterday, which was 28. So we just did replace values. Wherever you see null, replace it with 28. And okay. So now you can see that there's no 23% error again. Remember before there was 23% here showing that there are some errors, some nulls in your data set in this column. So now we have to also create a conditional column for this age so that we can easily be able to analyze it, it's still the same step. Go to add column, conditional column. Now we want to create this with age range. Let's call this new column that we're trying to create to be age range. So what column are we working with? We're working with column age. Now we would be doing less than or equal to. Let me click on it. I will explain it to us. 9. I want to work with range of 9. And I'm saying this less than or equal to is saying wherever you see any age that is from 0 to 9, less than 9 or equal to 9, we should call it 0 to 9 years. We understand this. So we are working with age column, and the operator is saying we chose is less than or equal to 9. So wherever you see anything less than 9 in this data set age or equal to 9, the name you should give it is 0 to 9 years. Now we'll do add clause. Now this age actually, I didn't show us, but the age range is from 0. I think there was a baby on the ship that was not up to a year. That's why I'm starting with 0. So the age range started with from 0 to 85. Yes. So that means our age range is going to start from age range 0 and could end in 85. So let's continue. Now the next one will be age. We still choose is less than or equal to. Now we are increasing the age. 19. Remember, we're moving with at every 10 gap. So here what we'll be having here is from 10 to 19 years. So this is how we keep creating this age range until you get to the last age you have on your data set. So let's keep going. Let me just copy this so that will be faster. It's less than or equal to. What should be here is 29. Control V. So it's 29 here, and so keep adding age is less than or equal to. The next one should be 39. So we do Control V, and here will be 30 to 39. I do hope you guys are understanding me. And if you have any question before we leave here, please do ask. It's less than or equal to 49. And so here, Control V. We'll do 49 to 40. 40 to 49. Add clause again. Choose age less than or equal to 59. And here Control V, so it will be 50 to 59. So this is how you keep creating the age range until you get to the last age that you have on your data set. 69. Control V. So to be 60, 60 to 69. add another class and go to age. Is now equal to 79 and come here and contribute. Okay, then yeah, it'll be 70 to 79. And I think the last is you want to be sure of that. Yeah, the last is 85. So we wouldn't be needing this because now if we write 89 here, that means we'll be overspilling the age. So there's no need for that. Remember I said the last one should always be at your else. So you just click on these three dots and delete. Else, it should be if you don't see any of this, if you don't see any of these numbers here in the age column, then the name you should give those ones should be 80 to 89. 80 to 89. Yes. So, yes, I think that is it. Yes, 9, 19, 29. Correct. Okay. So now okay. And now we have our age range column. Now we don't really need this for our analysis anymore, so we can take it out. Then we'll remove. So now we need a special column that would actually identify all of this. Like we call it an ID, a primary key that can identify all of this column easily. So we have to add another index column this time around that numbers this columns for us. Okay, so how do we add that? Still go to add column, come to index column, and we'll start from 1. And it automatically just create this for us. So let's take this to the beginning. And we are done with cleaning up this data set. So now that we are done, we have to close it. Tap on close and load. Hold on, it's loading. And voila, it is here. Okay, I think some of okay. So now we have to now start working with our questions. The first question is, let's check what the survival rate is. What is the survival rate in this analysis? So the survival rate, how do we create that? First of all, we have to create a pivot table. How do we do that? I've taught us before. So we just go to insert, we click on pivot table, and we're working with this table range. It's already highlighted it. And we want it to be in a new worksheet, not in existing worksheet. So, and okay. Okay, so now the question is, what is the survival rate? How do we know what the survival rate is? So we are bringing column survival. These are the columns here. So we're bringing column survival to row. And we're bringing this number, the index, to this place. I'm saying just didn't survive, no. All right, hold on. It shouldn't just be didn't survive. Hold on, please. Something is up. Let's take this out. Field list. Okay. Column didn't survive. Oh, I think we still filtered it out. Okay. So I think I should share this one.
I think someone
Please,
has a question.
sorry, please, can you all see my new screen, please, before we continue, please?
No, we
Can you,
can't. Yes, we can. We can.
with the dashboard, like with the previous picture I showed us?
Um,
Yes, we are seeing the dashboard.
Let me see. Okay, yes, you guys are saying it. All right. Okay, please go ahead with your question.
Okay, I wanted to ask, how do I access the Power BI inside the Excel?
Okay, it's called Power Query. Yes,
Okay,
Power BI
sorry.
also has Power Query. It seems you're,
Okay,
yes, Power BI also has Power Query. But how you can access this is this. Sorry, let me open a blank, please.
okay.
So now you can see my white screen, right?
Yes.
Okay. So you have to go to data.
Okay,
Now you click on get data.
okay,
They are taking this data set from Excel workbook. So you click on from Excel workbook.
okay,
Then you write the name of the data set you want to work with. We already have it here, Titanic.
okay,
Click on it, open. We already have it opened already. Okay, let me just show us fully. Click on it and then click on import.
okay,
And then you have to choose the data set you're working with. Because I've opened this Titanic before, like I now have 3 Titanics that are open.
okay,
So if you haven't opened it before, you would surely see just one. So you click on it.
okay,
Then it takes you to the Power Query section.
okay.
Yeah.
Let me try again.
Okay. So let's. I'm sorry. Okay, so let's use this data set to answer the questions. Data set. So this is the already cleaned version. We are going to be creating a new. Want to answer the first question? What is the survival rate? Just like I told us before, we want to insert pivot table to answer our questions. Pivot table helps us answer our questions easily without having to do physical calculations. So we'll click on pivot table. We want our answer to be in a new worksheet. We don't want the answers to be in this place. So add this to the data model and then we click on OK. So now let's name this. We want to answer survival. Survival. Survivor. Okay, there's already an existing name. Let's call it survival rate. Hold on. Survival rate. RATE. That'll be the name of this one. Let's give it a color so I can know. Okay. So now let's answer the questions. So we're going to be putting survived. Here we have didn't survive and survived. And then we are going to be putting index and values. So now this is actually saying that the people that didn't survive in this ship is 809, while the people that survived is 500. But the total number of people that was in this ship is 1,305. I just hope I just made sense. So we're trying to answer the question of what is the survival rate? Okay. Now, most times people prefer, from past experiences, people prefer everything to be in percent. Instead of just giving numbers, how many percent is rise value as percent column total. And it automatically just gives us the percent. So the percentage of people that didn't survive in this boat is 61.80. Wow, that's much. And the people that survived is 38.20. We've answered that question. Now, let's create a chart for this. We go to insert. Here's our insert. We go to insert. We go to pivot chart. I'm sorry. We go to pivot chart. And this time around, I want us to use donut chart. And we okay. So let's take this up. Okay, so now we've answered the first question of what is the survival rate? The survival rate is 38.20, which means 38.20 people actually survived, and the people that didn't survive is 61.80. I don't like that it's actually showing two decimal places, so let's remove that. We don't need two decimal places. So we remove this and then come here and reduce it. Let's just make it one decimal, like no decimal place. And okay. Yeah, this is better. So we say the people that survived is 38%. The people that didn't survive in this ship is 62%. We've answered the first question. Now the second question is effect of the class on the survival rate. The class is the first class, the middle class, and the last, what do they call them? No, the low class, not last class. Okay, so now we have to create another pivot table to answer that question. So we go to insert and pivot table, and we want to be in a new sheet, and we okay. So let's call this column, let's call this sheet class level. Let's call it that. Class level. And we could give it let's give it what color should it be? Let's give it yellow. Okay, so now let's answer the question. It said, what is the effect of the class on the survival rate? So now from the last one I just did now, do you have an idea of the columns you need to add here? They said effect of the class on the survival rate. First of all, it's asking us an information from column class, which is this. So asking us information from the survived, the one that has survived and didn't survive that column. And we also need, you know, these two are actually alphabets. The new class is having high class, low class, and middle class. Then the survived has didn't survive and survived. So those are alphabets. So we also need a number column, which is the index. So now let's answer the question. First of all, we'll put this. Then let's get this information next. So now, first of all, we have to know how many people really boarded this first class, low class, and middle class. The people that boarded first class is 323, low class is 709, and middle class is actually 277. Let's arrange this from big maximum to smallest. You just right click, sort, and then you go from largest to smallest. It automatically just helps us do this. Sorry about that. So now let's answer the question of, okay, let's do a chart for this first. Which of the charts should you choose? We go to insert. It's practically almost the same steps. Like, you just have to take it, go back and import, go back, taking the same steps for different calculations. So we'll click on this. So let's use clustered column. And we okay. Sorry about that. Okay, so now let's answer the question of, okay, now in this low class and first class and middle class, how many people survived and how many people didn't survive? How do we do that? Instead of creating a new pivot table, a new sheet, all you have to do is copy this one. Ctrl C, Ctrl V, and we work with this. So it's saying how many people survived and how many people didn't survive. So now we have to bring this survived column, new survived column, to this place. And now we can see, now this is what we call analysis. Yes, everybody can actually do this. But now, knowing the columns to bring into your chart to be able to answer the question, that is where the further analysis starts diving in. So, yes, now in low class, we know that the people that didn't survive is 528. And the people that survived is 181. If you actually look at this data set so well, you would see that low class actually has the highest number of people that didn't survive. I don't know if you're seeing what I'm saying. Okay, let's change this to percent so that you understand it perfectly. Right click and go to all right. Now this is more clear. That's why I always said sometimes percentage gives you a clearer and easier way of just seeing your information and just quickly understand it. Before we are seeing numbers, but now with percent we can easily understand. If you check the number of people that didn't survive, compare it with first class and low class and middle class, you would see that it's actually low class people that paid for low class for this ship that actually died more. So you could actually, maybe this is a data set that let's say you're working with the ship company that actually has this, that had the accident with Titanic ship company, and now they're asking you, okay, we want to know how many people that survive in the low class, in the first class, please give us the information. Now we can easily see that from this data set, it seems as if they actually prioritized getting everybody out, that is mostly everybody out that is in first class, now going to the second class. Before they now even remember they have low class people there. This data is already giving us informations already. Am I being clear?
Yes.
Okay, so this is what we call analysis. Like, you're doing further insight inside just from one question or getting another answer. Okay, now let's now assume, okay, let's take this, Ctrl C. I want to create another column, another pivot table. Sorry, apologies about that. So let's first of all insert a chart for this. Of the charts should we use? Should we use this or this? I think we should use this. Okay, let's use this for now. And we click on OK. So now let's imagine we want to do further analysis into this. And then they ask you the question of, okay, from these people now that survived, from this high class, okay, let's just say for high class, how many male were we able to save and how many female were we able to save? So it's just telling you, okay, go to the column gender or sex, which is what we are seeing here, drag it in, and you'll be able to do that analysis for them. So let's answer that question. How many male and how many female were they able to save? Voila. We can see that for low class, okay, let's go to high class because they asked us for first class. For first class, the people that didn't survive were mostly male. The people that they didn't save on time were mostly male and finally died. And the people that we are comparing the two, it's male that actually was unfortunate in this situation here. Then for the female, they saved more of the females. It's just like is a what do they call it? Whatever you're seeing here is reflecting in this place. So this is what we call analysis, answering questions, digging in, diving in. So if this happened, and you also answer this other question, is just knowing how to use your columns, how to understand, okay, this is what they want me to find. What do I need to drag into these columns to give me this? Now, from this information I've gathered, what can I deduct from it? Just like I was telling us, okay, it seems in this place, they really didn't prioritize low-class civilians. It was mostly first class. Imagine, didn't survive is 9.40, and low class is 40 points. That is, now, okay, now see for middle class, didn't survive is 12 points. So it's as if they were saying, let's save every first class and middle class first before we go to low class people. So you should be able to deduct these informations. Ask yourself, why did they do this? Why did they not do this? That is what analysis is mostly all about. Okay, I think I've hit too much on this. Let's move on because we have to build our dashboard. You don't really need this. I was just trying to explain it for us. So let's take it out. Okay, so the next question is number three. Okay, number 3 question is saying, sorry, we should check survival rates based on gender. So now we create a new, because now we're working with gender, we create a new insert. Pivot table and add this and okay. Okay. Now let's call this one, what should we call it? What should we call it? I think it's this one. Okay. Let's call it gender or sex gender, so that when you see any of them, you understand what we're talking about. Okay, let's give this a color. Right click and go to tab color. Let's give this green. So now let's answer the question. It's time to check our survival rates based on gender. First of all, we'll take our gender. Oh, this is age. Where is our sex? Okay, that's gender. Now we put our index, which is number to values. So now we have number of female is 466, number of male is 843. And then they said we should check for the survival rate. So let's copy this, Ctrl+C, Ctrl+V. Now we have to add survival rate to this new pivot table, which is this survived, and bring it here. So here it's saying the people that survived. Okay, let's change it to percent so that it will be easier for us to make our analysis. Click on summarize value as column total. So now, generally, yes, we have 466 female and we have 843 male in this shape. Now for the female, the percentage that didn't survive is 9.70. For the percentage that survived is 25.90. Now for the male is 52.10. Now, if you're checking this too, you can actually analyze something from this. Why is it that it seems as if the females were saved more? Now, it could be that maybe in their rules and regulations, that whenever there's a shipwreck or anything concerning our ships, always save the females first, maybe because they are softer or whatever reason they have. Then you can now go back to the males. Because I'm not able to fathom why this such amount of male died, and this is just the only amount of females that died. So you can actually say, so the disparity is too much. You can further ask them, okay, so this is something I noticed. Are there rules and regulations that people have that actually says females should be saved first to have cause this kind of numbers that we are saying? Or is there a preference for just saving females? Like, you just have to ask questions. Now we've gotten an answer for this. So let's create a chart for this. Insert for the first one first. Pivot charts. Pie. Okay, let's use pie chart this time around. And we okay. This for the first, for this one. And let's create for this one. Let's take it back to numbers instead of percent. The percent is mostly for us to understand what I'm doing. So let's take it back to numbers, so no calculation. So now let's create a chart for this. Insert and pivot chart. So let's use, which one should we use? Column. Let's use column 2. Okay, yeah, we can use column. Let's use this one. Okay. So this is for the second chart. Now let's go to the fourth question. The fourth question is saying, what's the survival rate by age? So go to the data set, create a pivot table, insert pivot table. Okay. So now what are we creating? Dragging index, which is the only number there that identifies all of the columns. And now we are working with age. So this is showing from 0 to 9 years, we have 82 people there. From 10 to 19, we have 143. And the highest numbers of people that were in this age, the highest age range is mostly 20 to 29. Now let's do an analysis that shows the survival rate of this age range. Ctrl C, Ctrl V. So we'll bring in survival. So now we have this from 0 to 9, 50 survived and 32 didn't survive. Just like I said before, for a better analysis, always change your numbers to percent so that you can easily interpret it without having to figure out how many percent there is. Okay, so let's create a chart for this. So I'm trying to meet up with time. I really want us to create a dashboard today. Okay, so let's go with bar charts this time around. Okay. Let's just skip this. Now let's answer the fifth. Okay, I haven't done any chart for this. Go to insert, go to pivot chart, and let's use this. Okay, that is for this one. This is for this, this is for this. Now the fifth question, but not the last. Oh, okay, so we've actually answered all of our questions. So let's try to make, what should we call this? Age range. Age range. Range. Yes. Okay. Let's color this age. Let's color this color. Okay. So now let's work on each of our data sets, each of our charts. We don't need this, so we'll take it out. Delete. We don't need count of index. You right click and you click on hide all values. The space here is too much. So we actually want to come in a little bit. All you have to do is you right click and then you see format data series. Click on it. I want to make the donut size to be 60. Okay, let's make it 50. That's 250. Okay. We'll arrange this one. So let's go to the next one to arrange it before we start building our data, our dashboard. Sorry, hold on. Class. Let me be sure. Okay. Class level. Let's take this out. We don't need this. Delete. We don't need this one here. This place would bring out the numbers on top, so we don't really need this one. So you click on it and you click on delete. We don't need this, so you click on delete. Take this out. We don't need this count of index. Right click, hide all buttons on chart. We don't need this, we take it out. So now we have to put the numbers up so that we can see what the labels are. Data labels. So this is cleaner than what we had before. Now for this one, okay, because we are trying to do a comparison, let's change this chart to a line chart. We are trying to do comparison. You right click and click on change chart type. Let's want to do a comparison between didn't survive and survive for low class. We want to see if there's a relationship. So let's use line instead of line. Yes, be sure that's not what I'm doing. Survivor. Okay. I'm working with class. Okay, class level. Sorry, I just want to be sure. Take this out. You survive count of index. Okay. It is looking funny. I had to be sure. Yeah, okay. So now let's change. What I was trying to do is I wanted, instead of it to be like this, it wasn't really giving me an answer that would be easier to identify. So you can put it, this place is rows, or you can put it in columns. Now you can see that now this one is didn't survive, this is survived. It's easier to know the difference other than that other one we did. Although I'm changing this to a line chart, right click, change chart type, and line. Yeah, I will click on OK. So, okay, that's good. Now the next one is, okay, let's clean this up. We don't need this. So let's take it out. So this is starting from 0. I don't like that it's starting from 0. There's no information here. That's what I'm saying. There's no information here. Let me reduce this so that you can see. There's no information here that has 0. So I don't like that this is starting from 0. So what do? You just right click. You see where the row format axis. Minimum. We don't want to start with 0. We want to start with 10%, which is 0.1. And we're okay. Yeah, that's better. So now we would remove this. Don't need it. Delete. We don't need this too, so we right click and we hide. We don't need this line. It's just trying to make your chart cleaner. Let's make this from big to small. Let's sort it from big to small. You can see it's scattered here. 65, 15, 19. So let's sort this. So we're sorting from largest to smallest. Then we've cleaned this one out. Okay. Now let's go to, I think this is class level. Let's go to gender. Gender, we don't need this. Just clean it out. Hide all. We don't need this total either. Take it out. Now let's clean this one. This is for gender. Gender. Okay. All right, we are the right track. Gender. Okay, let's change this chart. Right click and change chart type. This is what I used before, right? Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to be fast. I follow this. I'm not explaining the way I should. But are we getting what I'm doing so far?
Yes.
Okay, that's nice. Okay, so noticing I already have a pattern, so I don't want to change what I have. So I'm trying to give us exactly what we ordered for. So here we have new survived. Okay, we have, sorry, let's be sure. Male and male didn't survive. Okay, that's for gender. Yeah, so we'll take this to this place. Yeah. Okay, so this is what I just did. You could also get an information like this. Now you can see the male. The male is far away from the survived. Although yes, it's still showing that is a demarcation here. But sometimes you just have to think, what is the better way of really showing this information so as to be easier to easily analyze. So when someone easily sees it, they can say, okay, this is the difference. Yes, we can see the difference here, yes, but I think we can actually get a better view with this. Now, this is survived, and this one is didn't survive. You can easily see that in female, the people that survived is more, and in male, people that survived is not as much as the female. So let's clean this one up. Sorry. Let's clean this up. Click on the lines. Click on delete. We don't want this one here, so we are taking it out. You click on delete. you don't want count of index, you right click, hide all of the buttons. Now, you remember we removed the numbers here, so we have to show the numbers inside this chart. So you come to this plus, we go to data labels, and we click. And now we can see the numbers inside. Don't worry, we'll change the colors, but let's just create the chart first. Now we are done with this. The next question is on, I think, age range. Age range. Okay, yes. So let's clean this one up. We'll remove this, delete, remove this. Now we'll click on this line, we delete. We do not want this. Right click and hide all field buttons. Now to bring out the numbers here, we'll come here and we'll click on data labels. Because I feel this is really small, this chart. So how do we enlarge this? Just like the way we enlarged that donut chart. Just click on the chart, you right click, come to format data serials. And then gap width, let's take it back to, I think this works, 89. Yeah, this is okay. Okay, so that is better. So now for this, let's clean up this one. Take this column. And let's change these charts. Sorry, you right click and you click on change chart type. I think I should use this. Yes, this is better. Or should I use 100%? Yes, it means 100%. Now we have this, which is stack bar. It wouldn't show you a full. This is actually also okay. But with this other one, you can easily see the difference. With this one, you're trying to see these tiny ones. This 70 to 79 is so tiny. So I decided to make it 100% bar chart so that we can easily see the information without having to go close to our screen. So we click on OK. Now let's clean the chart. We don't want these lines. Where are the lines? These ones. This ones, don't want you. We'll delete you. We don't want any of these ones. We hide all values. And oh God, are we going to be able to view this chart? Okay. And we need to bring out the labels. We'll click on data labels. So we've answered all of this. Now let's go to building our dashboard. Now to build a dashboard, there are some things you should know first. We don't need all of these lines in dashboard. Dashboard is clean. Like this is something we have to build the carcass, like I explained yesterday. So you can't, you're not seeing all those lines, you're not seeing the formula bars, you're not seeing anything. It's just a clean, just like when you clear a land to build a house. So how do we make this clean? You go to view, we are removing the heading, we are removing the grid lines. And now we have a clean workspace. So first of all, we want to color this whole place. You go to home. Let's Control A here. Let's highlight everything. Then you come to this place. You come to more colors. Custom. Now we want to create our own colors. Color we are using is 67. Now to get this color code, you can get a color and go to ChatGPT and tell it to give you a color code. Or you can use an app which we use, we call it Color Picker. bring a dashboard that maybe you want to use, and then it will automatically be identifying the colors for you. There are other ones, but these are the ones I use. Sometimes color picker, and there's another one. You can actually check ChatGPT for that. And I already have my color code. I'm okay. So this is our first, the wall frame, what we are using first. So now we are bringing in shape. You go to insert, come to shapes, and then we'll bring in this rounded rectangle. So let's draw it here. Just bring your hand down a little, take it down. Okay, now these edges are looking to corner, so you just go to that yellow part and do this. Okay, so now we want to create more boxes. This is what we are trying to create. We're trying to create more boxes. So let's go back. I think it's sheet 1, yes. Okay, so let's create the color code for this. You go to home, come to this place. I already created the color codes before, so I just wanted to show us how to create it. That was I did that first one. You go to more colors and then you have it. So we have it here. Now the next one we are doing now is another shape. You can just do Ctrl+C for this and come here and do Ctrl+V. Then we'll take this like this. Instead of creating and recreating and recreating, so let's shift this. So Ctrl+C, Ctrl+V. Let's take this here. Let's do another one. Or you can just do Ctrl+D, which is duplicate. Okay. Let's shift this a little more. Okay, so let's give this, all of this, the same shape, like the same width and the same height. So I've highlighted the 3 of them. We come to shape format. So let's make this 2.47. Let's leave it as 2.67. Let's make this 3.69. And you see everything just automatically adjusted. So now let's put this like this. Take this like this. And this. Okay. So let's do Ctrl+Shift. It's too wide. So do 3.59 and see. Better. Okay, so now let's align all of this together. You come to this, when you go to shape format, you come to align. Now we want to align this horizontally so that it will be, all of them will be properly aligned. And also, I think it's looking okay already. Align vertically, okay. And to the top. All right, now you can see everything is looking the same already. So let's drag this down to be aligned with this. Just have to hold down and everything follows you up. Okay, now instead of creating a different shape, all you just have to do is do Control D and you have all of this and you bring it down. Now this first stage is ready. The second stage is bringing in another shape. Go to Insert. Come to Shapes. Now the one we're bringing in is this one. The top corners that are rounded, not all sides rounded. So create this. Okay, these shapes are actually, Control Z. Shift. I'm highlighting everything. Okay, let's leave it. Now for this one, I have to come here and so it will be the same thing. And then we'll drag this. So we are looking at the same result. Okay, so we have this now. Now instead of doing another, we'll just do Control D. Control D. Then we'll take this here. We'll take this here. Okay, so we'll do Control D, Control D, Control D. You can also do Control C, Control V, but Control D is easier. Okay. Or assuming what I would have done that would have been easier is just create this in this place and just duplicate it for everyone. But then since we didn't do it, you can still do it this way. And we are done with this. Okay, let's do another Control D so that we can put in this place. And bring it here. Okay, I shift it a little. Okay, so now let's change these colors. We come to home. Or maybe let me not prioritize beautifying this. You can go back and just, maybe I will do a screenshot of this and send it to us so that you can go and practicalize it. Let's try bringing in the data set to the graphs that would like to the dashboard. So you can try replicating this, but because of time, let's just make do with what we have here. Okay, so now let's try bringing in our data sets. So the first one we need to bring in would be survival. So you just do Control C. We've copied it. Let's go back to the dashboard. Here's it. Okay, this is it. So we'll do Control V. Now let's reduce this. So it fits into this place. So now this is not looking so nice. We don't want this white to be here. So we can actually remove it. Come here and click No Fill. We don't also want these white lines. So you come to this outline and then you choose No Outline. Sorry, let's do that again. Right click. We don't want outline and no outline. Okay, I don't want you here again, you can go. Okay. Choose it. Okay. Right click and no outline. No outline. Okay. So now we have the information for, this is the first one we worked with was let's check survival rates. So let's call this by survivor. Okay, so let's bring in our next data set. Our next chart, I mean. The next one is class sorry. The next one is class level. So let's bring this one in. You just do Ctrl C. Ctrl C. And you come back to this sheet one. I'll put it here, Ctrl V. It's too wide. So take it out. Let's reduce it, reduce it. Let's reduce this one. Yes, let's put this one here first. Let's reduce this. This is supposed to be here. Yes, not here. From what we are trying to build. This is what we're trying to build, and it's here. So let's take this down first. Okay, so this is by class. Ctrl C. No, let's just drag. We don't need to do Ctrl C, Ctrl V. Okay. Now we don't need this white. We don't need this white background. Right click. So we'll do no fill. And we don't want this white line around. So we'll do no outline also. Okay. So this is actually by class, not by survival. So we'll change this name to by class. Okay. So now let's bring in the other data sets. By class, let's go back. Class, okay. This is the next one. We'll do Ctrl C. We'll come back to the data sets. I think I should drag this thing here so that it will be easier for me. Yes, okay. So bring it down here and do Ctrl V. Now take this to wide. Okay, so we don't need this white place. We take it out. File. We don't need fill. And we don't need outline. Okay, let's bring in our third. Our third one, which is by gender. The name here will be survivor by class. Survival. This one has survival rate. This is just the numbers that is present in each class. So this is survival by class. So by survival by class. Okay. Let's bring in another data set, which is by gender. Gender. Okay, so this is it. Ctrl C. And we Ctrl V. Put it here. Ctrl V. Too wide.